Word. All right, guys. So tonight we have Jessica Waldron, Ruby Leader, on our team, and she's just going to be giving some tips and kind of telling her story. So why don't we just get started? And Jess, you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit of how you got started.
Okay, so my name is Jessica Waldron. I live in Wheeling, West Virginia. I'm married to a firefighter, and I have two wonderful kids. So last June 2017, Jen, I still call her Jen Gaudia, LaValle, came to me. She's known me for like 10, 15 years, and she said, I feel like you need this. And I was like, Jen, I don't know. Because her and I did Premiere back in the day, and like it just didn't work. And I've done Avon, and that didn't work. But in 2015, I had a little girl. She's beautiful. Her name is Emma, and we had a really rough start. She has cerebral palsy, so I never went back to work. She is my full-time job, even though her older brother is pretty awesome, but she's definitely all of my time and energy for the most part. So Jen was like, Jess, I can see you like spiraling downhill, and you really just need something for you to do, for you to feel better. I've always been someone that wants to, I never want to not work or help my husband. That's just not me. I don't want to just sit back and take all of his money. I can't do that. So I finally said, okay. Literally, she talked to me for like maybe 2 hours, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So I jumped in and pretty much had no clue what I was doing at first, but I just took off running. Like I watched videos and I got on every Zoom. Zooms are super duper important in my opinion. But this business to me at this point, a year later, is really just helping us not be paycheck to paycheck. If we want to just get up and go on a trip, we can. We just did it last weekend. My daughter's medical expenses are ridiculous, so it helps with that. And I can say, my husband likes to go hunting, and last year, January, he was like, I don't have it. I can't do this. Well, little does he know I run his account too. And I was like, yeah, you do have it. He's like, how? Like, go check your account. You have it. I promise. Go get your hunting license and go to camp. So without me getting like really emotional, this business is a blessing. It has helped me in more ways than one. And if it weren't for people like Jen and Rachel, who are there when I call on them because I'm getting stressed out and overloaded, I probably would have said, I don't know if it's for me. But it really is. If you have a good support system and a good team, I think this business is for anybody.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I love that. I actually didn't know he was a firefighter. I knew he like worked a lot, but I just didn't know what he did.
He works at
Yeah. So you're basically like, I mean, not if there is any single moms on here, but like essentially like you are a single mom a lot of the time.
99% of the time, yeah. He works 24-hour shifts at the fire station. And if he's not working 48s, he leaves there and he goes to his second job. So him being home is rare.
Well, something I like wanted to like point out about your story and like how you got started is somebody reached out to you. Like you did, like somebody had to reach out. That's why like messaging is so important and talking to people and reaching out to people. And that's what happened. Like somebody reached out to you and like, obviously had a friendship with you already, but even if she didn't know you for years and she was watching your story and watching you on Facebook or Instagram or however, like she reached out to you and like connected with you on a personal level and was like, you need this, like this could really help you.
Oh yeah.
I think that's definitely a testament to messaging. And also too, I think what you said was really important. And I feel like people, if they didn't like catch on to it, should to reach out when you're having trouble, when you're struggling, to reach to your upline and talk to them. That is so, so huge. And like I've said it before so many times, like we have so much help for people. And like, so I love that you said those two things actually. All right. So just a couple of things. So day to day, how do you work your business? Because I say it all the time and I feel like I keep saying it, is like work it into your life. So how do you do that?
Well, I can definitely say every day is different. I know some people that have a set schedule and that is what works for them, and that's awesome. But you have to find what works for you. Like my Monday, Emma has let's see, 1, 2 therapy sessions. Sometimes they're the same time. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes she sleeps through the night. Sometimes she doesn't. So if I'm functioning at 7 a.m. and she's still sleeping, I'll message for 30 minutes. I'll accept follow requests. Sometimes I do personal development, but majority of my work gets done when she's sleeping. So if she doesn't nap, it's not happening because she's trying to punch my phone out of my hands, and people are getting random letters on their phone going, what is she trying to tell me? So I did a couple days. As she grew, it became a little harder because I'd find myself like, I'd say, hey, Angela, and I meant, hey, Sarah. And I'm like, oh, my Lord, Emma, you are really messing with my day today. So it changes. So like now, you know, I message in the morning, I'll message at night, I'll add in the morning, I'll add at night. I can add people throughout the day when she's sitting on my lap. But every day is different. That's like, you'll text me in the morning. I'm like, I promise I'll get there. It'll probably be bedtime because she's not napping right now, but I'll get there.
So I feel like that's so good, like having that discipline, because it is great to like be your own boss, but you also do have to find the discipline. And I know Julie and I have talked about it a lot with having a kid. Like, how do you find the schedule? How do you work it in? And like, I've tried the time schedules, but then if I miss a task, I am like, well, all right, now what am I going to do? Like, so I think having like, just knowing there's things that you should get done during the day and getting those done, whether it's when your kid's sleeping, when you're trying to get them down for a nap, when they're eating, when you can put them in front of Mickey Mouse for 30 minutes. Like, so I think that's just really important to like find that discipline. And also what you said, how your schedule changes. And because you said as she got bigger, it got harder. That's definitely what was like with me, with like nursing Harper was really easy. And I just sit on my phone, and then she decided to stop nursing, and then I was pumping. And so I think another thing with this business is you always have to be adapting, and you have to really go with the flow. And it changes, but there's certain things that are like the keys that do stay the same. So I think like saying that too, I just wanted to like piggyback on that. So
I think as long as you have a set list, like I always have my daily 6. They're written down. It never changes. If I don't do them, I'm not going to bed.
That's great.
Now you can add things in, but as long as those 6 things are accomplished, I'm okay and I can close my eyes.
So your daily 6 list, because I know Samantha is newer, so I haven't said that to her yet. So your 6 list is like 6 non-negotiable income-producing tasks that you're going to get done every day. That's great. So another thing, this was, so this I feel like a lot of people will end up using what is supposed to be their why to begin with. They end up using it as their excuse. So they say, oh, I want to be home with my children. And then they say they can't work because they're with their kids. So how did you turn like what could have been very easily used as an excuse that you're really busy, that you do have a daughter with cerebral, that's what you said, cerebral palsy?
Yeah.
Okay. You do have a daughter, with cerebral palsy. You do have a very busy schedule and therapy and appointments. So how did you turn that into like your push and your motivation?
I've always been a really driven person. So I don't like to give up easily. And I do have 1,000 why excuses that I could be like, well, I can't do it today because she's screamed in my ear all day. Or I can't do it today because my 7-year-old is the devil today. Like, it's been really frequent lately where I'm really ridiculously overwhelmed. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, I know that working this business, whether it's an hour a day or an hour in the morning, an hour at night, however much you can manage to do it, it pays off. Mm-hmm. I did a live probably 6 months ago, and I got so emotional, and I try really hard not to do that. But like a year and a half ago, we couldn't put food on the table. A year and a half ago, we literally could not leave this house. Like I couldn't take my kids somewhere because I couldn't put gas in my car. So as long as you take those whys and don't let them be your excuse, you'll be fine. Like there is no excuse. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like people say all the time, if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not deep enough. Like you need to dig deeper.
100%.
So I feel like we did kind of cover this already, but another question I had written down is when you get distracted or when you do have 1,000 things going on in that day, how do you get back on track, or how do you find the time to do it?
If I'm getting distracted, which happens a lot, because I could be like, oh, squirrel, and then it's gone. I just get done what is distracting me, whether it's I can't think straight because there's dishes in my sink,
Mm-hmm.
or I can't think straight because, we have so many therapy appointments and so many doctor's appointments. I get those things done as soon as I possibly can, and then I jump back in to where I left off.
So you just deal with the distraction and then you work.
Yep.
Good.
Because if not, I focus on the distraction and then I don't work well.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I am like not an out of sight, out of mind person. Like if I close my closet door and it's crazy in there, like I'm just going to think about that. So I understand that. All right. So just two more things. So what would you say to somebody that is discouraged or feels like a new person that feels like this isn't happening for me, like this is too hard, or that I'm not good at this because I'm not signing anybody? Like, what would you say to somebody? Samantha just raised her hand. I don't know. Did you say that? But what would you say to somebody who is saying that?
One, my first would be don't give up. You just don't give up. And two, work harder. Every time that I am in a slump, I just do it times 10. Like, just keep going. Like, if I'm only adding, 20 people a day on Facebook and 50 a day on Instagram because I'm the one that has Android and can't get Captivate, which is awful, I'm sure that I put in double time work following people and messaging people and putting up polls and just keep going.
Mm-hmm. It's Android too.
I feel your pain.
Yeah, that's good. I know, and that's what like people will be. I'm like, well, how many messages did you? Not you, Samantha, you haven't, but people will be like, oh, I sent 20. I'm like, send more. Like, and it seems like I'm being mean when I say that, but I'm like, no, that's like actually my advice. Like, that's what I would do. Like, anything that I say or that you would say, like, you're not just saying it to say it. It's like how you work too and what you would do.
Yeah, if you take the time to buckle down and do it, you're fine. Like, I've been experimenting with schedules, and I'm probably just going to get back into where they go to bed and I work for 2-3 straight hours. And because of Android, I will follow and then I will message and then I'll follow and I'll message and it'll just go back and forth. So Instagram doesn't block me. Mm-hmm. Oh, Samantha, I'm still not comfortable messaging. You just do it. That's all. You just like put that fear aside, like just message people, comment on their stories. Like, they have kids. For me, that's real simple. I'm like, oh my God, your kid's so cute, or their smile, or their dimples. And then that interaction's already there.
Yeah. And also too, I feel like the comfortable messaging, I know it like does come and it's like, you have to develop the thicker skin, but like what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to block you. Who cares? Follow more people. And like that, I don't mean to sound mean, but like, so.
Oh yeah, I have a thick skin. I've been that way my whole life. So if people get nasty to me, I'm like, I mean, you didn't really have to go there, but all right. If you don't want me messaging you, just be like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
Do you want to answer that, Jess? How do you go about messaging on a story and saying, hey, your kid's cute. Hey, do you want to try it? Works.
I build a relationship off of your kid's so cute. And then like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, you're a stay-at-home mom too. So am I, blah, 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 blah. And just build that relationship. I just don't come off straight off the bat on the story with, hey, do you want to join Netflix? Or hey,
I also would say too, because I had somebody ask me this the other day, I don't ever random message about product. I feel like it's really like icky to be like, hey, I don't know you, but do you want to help me out and buy a product? Because why are they going to help you? They don't know you. Like, I only would ever message about the opportunity unless they are liking a product post or a poll. Then it like gives you a good reason to message about that. Other than that, it's like, oh, so you just messaged me to sell me something. But if you're messaging about the opportunity, it's like, no, girl, I want to see if you want to make some money. Like, so that too. Okay, so this is my last thing that I want to ask you. And then if anybody else has questions, or if Rachel, you want to add anything in or ask anything, what would be like your overall best tip that you could give for this business? Like your life-changing aha moment tip. You can give more than one if you have more than one.
My best tip would be, don't let quit be part of your vocabulary. That just can't be there at all. And my other one is always keep your why at the forefront. And Sarah's right. If it doesn't make you cry, your why is not big enough.
I love that. I love that so much. That's great. I know when people like, if the thought even enters your mind, like you need to erase it, because if it's in your mind already, then it's just going to be nagging at you and you're going to find a reason to quit. If you're thinking about it, there's going to be a million reasons that you can quit. But that's why you just take it out of your vocabulary and take it out of your head. That's so true. That's a really, really good tip. So does anybody have any other questions? Or Rachel, did you want to add anything in? I also would just like to say that Jess and I did not rehearse any of this. She didn't know any of the questions I was going to ask her. We just like flew back.
We winged it.
Yeah, just went right there. Oh my God, Rachel, you're so pretty.
I am. Well, what I wanted to add is just how incredibly proud I am of Jess. And you touched on this, but I mean, I have had over the past 3.5 years, people quit for the most obscure reasons. Like if people want to give up on themselves, they're going to. And Jess has had 80 times the reason of any reason that somebody's quit on my team. And she'll talk to me about it. And she's never like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. She talks about her issues, but then she uses them to empower herself. And if there's anything you can take away from Jess, is that your issues don't have to be the end. They can be your beginning, and they can be turned into your why. And she is the perfect example of that. And I'm proud to know her and proud to have her on my team.
Don't make me cry.
I was just saying, you're making her cry again. I just got through the whole thing.
Jeez, Rach.
Sorry, it's the truth.
It's okay.
Thank you so much for doing this. I'm really, really glad you did. I'm going to share the recording on the team page because I feel like so many people that definitely need to see this may have not been able to get on tonight. So thank you very, very much for doing this.
No problem.
I saw Slater woke up to hear what was going on. Julie's fun. All right. So yeah, if you guys do have any questions, you guys can message Jess. I'm sure she would be happy to answer any questions you have. So, all right, guys, well, have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.